All right, folks, Roland Martin here with my man, D Nice. What's up?
Man, I'm so happy to be here. You have no idea how much love and respect. First of all, you make every party that I DJ, when you step into the room, that's when it becomes a party. I literally play records just for you.
Hey, man, look, my philosophy is just real simple. I was telling Dougie Fresh that I said, look, if I go home and my suit is dry, I'm pissed. I did not have a good time. But if I go home, I got to peel that sucker off. Oh, it was a glorious night.
Man, and we've been a part of some memorable moments, bro.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Together.
Oh, yes.
Like I'm stepping on Coca-Cola stage or whatever.
When I see you, I'm like, oh, yeah, we about to do this thing.
Yes, sir.
We about to do it. Now, the Coke thing is so funny because people thought that was planned. No, it was just straight up. I'm going to guess a Coca-Cola every year at Essence. I didn't realize you and Kenny, so I was like, it was you, Kenny, Farnsworth.
Yep.
And then, oh my God, why is the name escaping me? Darren Henson. He was out there, went out there, crowd goes crazy, and we say, let's just go to another level.
We took it there, man. Memorable moments, brother. Love you, man.
And Kenny came to me, he said, yo, man, after that set, Coca-Cola was so hyped, he said, me and Nice taking this thing around the country.
Yeah, we're about to do it around the country.
I told Kenny, cash at me then.
Absolutely. We owe you a check. We owe you.
I said, cash at me.
We owe you a check, man.
Man, let's talk about, so we talk about this at Essence. I had this video backstage. I think I posted it. And it is a personal pet peeve of mine because you already know how I like a good party. It utterly kills me to be at a party and to see a virtually empty dance floor.
Yes.
And the DJ not changing the damn music.
Yes.
I don't understand that logic.
A lot of DJs are selfish and they play for themselves. So the way I look at music, it's not for me. A hot party is not going to be me just playing music. I got to be able to watch people dance and see by the body language that I'm either playing this song too long or maybe I cut that other song off too soon, too quickly. which means that they really want to party and they want to, you may not be able to just play one verse of Flashlight. You may have to rock 2 verses of that so people can just find their groove.
Right.
But you can only tell that by like watching people and really paying attention to body language. A lot of people have a hard time reading it. Me, I know one thing. You don't just dance to old school. You dance to new school too. So it's like you got to be able to play a little bit of everything and do it seamlessly, effortlessly.
And again, as somebody, I mean, I've seen it happen where you are not just looking down at the computer what's in front of you, it's studying the audience.
Yes.
And if you hit that one song and two and you see how they going, you're like, man, I ain't gonna just all of a sudden switch to something that's new school. I'm gonna stay right there,
stay in that zone,
in that pocket, and just keep with it. And that is, and I tell people, I'm about to ask you about the next question. I tell people that's a skill set.
Yes.
That ain't just, I'm just up there. No. Just like what I do, just like what Dougie does, just like it's a skill set.
It is a skill set.
That requires you to put the work in.
You have to put the work in. Because I didn't always have that skill set. In the beginning, I used to play songs from, if the song started with like a string in the beginning, I played the song from the string. And one day somebody came over and was like, dude, you're not playing the records right. And I went and I started to study other DJs. But I didn't study hip-hop DJs. I studied house music DJs, DJs that actually blend records. That's why you rarely hear me scratching records. One, women don't find it to be sexy. They're not there for a rap battle, for a DJ battle. They want to have a good time, and they want those records, those transitions to be so smooth where it sounds like one long song and like one long party. I don't do too much yelling on the mic. I'm not screaming at you. Throw your hands up. No, I talk through music, and I don't even have a set, pre-programmed. I literally do it all live in front of you. I pick those songs based on who's there dancing.
Somebody posted a photo.
Okay.
And I think I texted you. And I think I said, damn, is everybody today a DJ? Now, I'm
remember that.
I'm saying that because, again, as somebody, my craft is what I do in media. Everybody named Mama want to be a commentator.
Yes.
And I know it has to be frustrating to you to see that this whole thing now is all about, again, like the celebrity commentator, it's the celebrity DJ.
Yes.
It is still a craft. And it bugs me. And I know it has to bug you because, again, this is a craft. This is what you put the work in. This is not just you're a celebrity and all of a sudden now I'm a DJ.
Yes. So it doesn't bother me, to be honest with you, because I know that they're not going to do the same job that I will do. There are some times that I lose gigs to celebrity DJs, and I don't feel like I'm a celebrity DJ at all. Like, I had records out in the late 80s and early 90s, and then I was gone for like 13 years, and I had to come back and humble myself and play 6 hours for $150 where the young hot DJ was getting $5,000 a night. I had to humble myself, but I knew by doing that, I was going to be able to be in the right rooms. I'd be able to select the right gigs, and eventually it would all turn around. So I'm at the point in my career where, no, it doesn't bother me, man. More power to them. I like to see certain celebrities get in and play music. Like, people don't know Idris Elba is a DJ for real.
Right.
Before acting. He comes from a family of DJs. So people look at him and they think, oh, he's a celebrity DJ. No, he's a DJ. And you know what he's doing for our culture is to help get that number up to where these house music DJs are. There's no reason why they pay like African-American DJs so much less than what they're paying like these house music DJs. By Idris getting in there and doing his thing, it's opening the doors for so many more of us.
But the key is he's put the work in.
He's put the work in.
And that's really what I'm talking about. That is, if you're going to do this, just like I tell people, if you want to be a television commentator,
yes,
I need you to put the work in.
Put the work in.
You can't be lazy up there just winging it, because that's what offends me. It's the winging it. That's what offends me.
There are a lot of DJs that wing it. There are a lot of DJs that are hot, that put the work in, that are bored right now, and they're winging it because they've done so many gigs. To me, every gig is special. I try to treat it like this is the first time you're ever hearing me. So I need to put the work in. I need to be great. I need to be focused.
See, I think what you just described is sort of like, for me, when I talk about with the speeches I give. The thing is, I don't want somebody to go home and say, yeah, Roland, who's all right. No. I want somebody who said, I've heard him 5 times.
Yes.
And he's killed it 5 times. I gave a speech somewhere, and so this sister came to me, and she was supposed to sing this solo after my speech. I said, you don't want to do that. She's like, what? I said, baby, you want to sing that song before I speak. She says, no. She says, no. I said, no, listen to me. You want to sing that song before I speak. I said, because I'm telling you right now,
Yes.
when I get done, they ain't going to be here to hear your song. I said, I'm going to clear the room. I said, I'm going to have them on their feet. They're going to be full, and they going to leave.
And what happened?
She sang that song before I spoke. When I finished, she's like, I'm so glad you told me that. She said, because, I would have been embarrassed trying to follow that. I said, I tried to tell you. I tell people, that's not arrogance. I know what I'm going to bring because I don't want somebody saying he was average.
Absolutely. We are not average.
Because I know I've been to some parties where some DJs got lit on social media. Man, so-and-so was whack, so-and-so was this, that, what, and they were all offended. But the reality is, that's the customer. And if a whole bunch of folks are saying the same thing over and over again, say, bro, that was on you.
You know,
and that's why I think, and that's why I think it's different. I've never, this straight up, this ain't kissing ass or nothing. I've never gone to one of your parties where you DJ, and folks left mad.
Well, I will say this. I've never DJed I DJed once recently where someone was kind of upset, like, yo, you didn't give it 100%. And to be honest with you, I didn't give it 100% that night. And that night I wasn't feeling well, but I never told anyone that. I could have backed out of the gig, and I gave it what I had.
Right.
And it to me, I wasn't offended by it. I was like, wow, my standards are different than the average DJ. When I see you in the room, and I'm not saying this to kiss ass either, I know I have to bring it. Bring in the funk, baby. Like, you're going to get on the dance floor, and you don't want to hear the same 5 songs that I played at the last party that you were at, because, you know, a lot of times we see each other multiple times during the night in different venues because I'm trying to get all of the checks.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something.
I'm trying to get all of them.
Let me tell y'all something. Okay, when you were Essence this year, how many gigs, what was it, 11 or 15?
No, I had 14 gigs during Essence Fest.
Y'all didn't understand.
I had the main stage 3 nights, the Coke stage. I had parties.
Because you brought in, what was some scooter you brought in?
I had a bird. They made me a customized bird scooter and shipped it to me to New Orleans. So I was in New Orleans while everyone was like stuck in traffic. I was on my bird scooter. I was just flowing by artists. They're like, yo, where are you going? To the next gig, you know, and I figured that would be the best means of transportation. Look, man, I don't play around when it comes to work. And the thing is, I used to be upset, because a lot of African Americans didn't hire me in the beginning. You know, you would think as much as I do now, they really didn't hire me like my own people. So I had to go play rock and roll music. But
Wow.
The beauty of it is I built a name on that side, and then I came back to us. So I get to play everywhere. So one night I could be playing for, you know, Jerry Seinfeld, and then immediately go and play a Dave Chappelle set. And it's all different music.
Wow.
And it's a great, I'm in a really good space as a DJ and as talent.
I follow you on Twitter and Instagram, and man, you are in a groove right now.
Yes.
I mean, when you talk about, I think my travel is crazy. I mean, you crisscross the country. You got folks sitting in private jets, whatever. And the thing, you said something earlier, I saw this one documentary, and they were talking about how some of these white DJs and just the crazy money they get paid.
Yes.
And that income inequality is still real.
It's real. For the culture that we created, it's still real.
That we created.
Yes.
And I think people don't get that. They don't. And then some of our people, like I'll have some people hit me, how dare you charge that much to speak? And I'm like, he charged $50,000 and ain't gonna kill it. Not gonna break a sweat. Ain't gonna read a prepared speech. I don't even write speeches. So all my shit's original.
I love it. All this time I thought you were writing speeches. So
No.
this is just all you
No.
on the fly.
No, I don't.
Speaking from
no,
the heart.
I don't write
Yes.
3 points. I don't write the title. I literally, it's an organization. I see what their theme is, what they want. I let it marinate. I let it marinate. What happens is when I walk into that room,
Yes.
when I walk into the room, I feel the room. I allow God to speak to me in the room. Then when I sit down, and I sit there, and I might be talking to the organizer and their organization and what they do, what are issues in the city, whatever, okay, the problems they're having, what are they facing or whatever, what are some of the drama internally with the membership. I take all of that data, and by the time I get to that microphone,
It's there.
I will pull all that together, and it comes out in that 30, 45, 1 hour speech. And people have told me, they came to me and said, would you speak 15 minutes? They said, hey, can you do 25? I'm like, fine. They go, okay, can you do 40? I'm like, y'all, just tell me what's my time limit? That's it. And
That's a real skill set.
that's everyone. I literally don't jot anything down.
Yes.
Not one word. I gave a speech to the New York Puerto Rican legislators, and I was agitated because what I felt in that room. And they kept coming to me and said, you need anything? I said, no, I'm good. I barely was speaking to anybody because there was some bullshit in that room. And when I got to that microphone, let it rip.
You know, we need to figure out, and I'm just not just saying this for your show. We should figure out something that we can do together that kind of blends what you're doing and what I'm doing. So even if you're giving a speech somewhere, I'm rocking them, and we just do it together, bro.
So you clearly didn't see this tweet. I don't know why this hit me. So I've done 18 commencements.
Wow.
14 at HBCUs. I did Bowie State in the fall. And I tweeted this, and I said, I want D Nice to DJ a commencement speech.
Wow, I didn't see that tweet.
I'm telling you, I was sitting, I said, what if he did a commencement speech and he DJ'd it? And I was going through because what happens is when I give a commencement speech, I did this the first time I did this at Grambling. I go to Grambling, I give a commencement speech. They playing, symphonic music or whatever. I said, look, I ain't come all the way to Grambling for some symphonic music. I need to hear some halftime music. And the band let loose. Y'all go to YouTube, it's on the video. I've done it at South Carolina State. I've done it at Virginia State. The band and the choir, they weren't there. So I said, who in y'all class can sing? Brother came up. Stillman College, they had a choir, no band. I saw a choir director, I said, I'm going to give you a look. And then I need y'all to sing a black gospel song, not that choral stuff. So I turn out graduations.
Man.
And after Bowie State, I literally said, if D-Nice DJ'd a commencement speech.
Oh, we would kill it, man.
Seriously, I posted that.
I'm actually gonna go through your tweets because I need to see that. I need to screenshot that.
And I was thinking through,
yes,
what would that be like?
Let's work on it.
Okay. Now the thing about it is, because I don't write them, it's like you're gonna be sitting there having where's he going? What's the right song to fit what he's talking about? Cause I can't plan it.
No, but you said something earlier though. You said you don't have any points. You don't take down points or whatever, right? So, but you kind of know exactly what it is that you or where you want to go. So if I knew that, I would be able to just kind of create a set of certain songs that I know
Right.
I could put in there. I mean, we could figure it out.
But then I've changed it, walking from my seat to the mic.
Oh well, I can change it too. I can change it. I'll tell by your body language. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm with it though, man. I'm with it.
I literally put that out there. I said I don't know why. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like,
the kids
that
would
would
go
be
crazy over that,
interesting. Man. I said, interesting way to do a commencement. Because right at TSU, Brian Courtney Wilson
Yes.
had his hit song, and I was like, I said, Brian, why don't you come sing your song at the graduation? Because he lived in Houston. He's like, man, he said, man, that would be awesome. So right before I spoke, I said, I got a surprise for y'all.
And he killed it.
Killed it.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, man.
I killed
Well,
it.
we got to do something together. I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
I talk about all the travel you're doing, all the things that you're doing, man, and you talked about sitting out for 13 years, but so how does it feel when you're crisscrossing the world and just going DJing from the White House, to your point, private parties, corporate gigs, or whatever, and you think about where you started?
Sometimes it's surreal, but then when I think about from a perspective of, that God doesn't give you something that you can't handle, because even through the hard times when I had no money, I never gave up my faith and the focus. I knew what I wanted, and I knew it was going to take a little bit of time and work to get there, but I knew what I wanted. So I heard Doug talk about never working for anyone. I never had a job ever. I started making music at such a young age out of high school. I was producing everyone, sold millions of records, and then by the time I was 22 years old, I was considered old school, and I had to figure this out. Once the clapping stopped, it was like, well, what's next?
Got no choice.
And at 22 years old, like, how am I old school? And it was a rough time, and a lot of it had to do with ego. I didn't want to go and get a job. I knew that I was great at what I was doing. I always wanted to own my thing, and I knew that this was going to be the way for me to start other businesses. And man, by the grace of God, like 7 or 8 years later, I was able to come back, but not as a performer. I looked at creativity, like creativity is creativity,
right,
no matter
right.
what form it takes.
Right.
The same way that I can produce music, I should be able to produce television, or I should be able to produce, films. What I ended up doing was I started a creative services agency called United Camps, and I was building websites and doing online marketing. So the people that I built websites for are all huge, like Diary of Alicia Keys. I coded that, like that website. When
wow.
Luther to AT&T to I was doing online marketing for the G-Unit shoe. So I came back on the scene not as a performer. I came back as a creative,
right,
with my own company. And because I used to sit over the shoulders of other programmers to learn how to write code. So I returned to the scene doing that. And then DJing was like, I was sitting in a meeting with Paul Fireman, who was the CEO and the founder of Reebok, and Steve Stout, and Q Gatson, and Chris Lighty. And we were just talking about the G-Unit marketing. And one of the guys walked into the meeting. He's senior vice president of Reebok, walked into the meeting. And he told me he'd written his thesis on one of my songs for my first solo album. And that was the point when I realized that all the years that I had ran away from being D-Nice the artist, the people that bought the records are now CEOs. They're now CEOs, or they're like senior vice presidents of record companies, of Fortune 500 companies. They're the same people that listen to the music, that the music got them through school. So instead of running away from that, I decided that I wanted to do an after-work mixer to invite my clients out, because now I can afford it.
Right.
I went from making no money to where I was building websites for like $200,000 a website, and I only had 3 people working for me, so I did very well with my business. So I could afford to like throw parties, but I couldn't find a DJ that would play everything, like Earth, Wind, and Fire and Jay-Z.
Right.
So I don't want to say that I was, I created the open format kind of like style of DJing, but I was there pretty early on with everyone, playing from the heart, like playing like a real, like to play, a lot of DJs would play like this record, not Frankie Berry, but like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Fantasy, at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Me, I would play that shit at like prime time.
Right.
Just because I'm like, I don't want to play this other record right now. I want to play this. And that became my thing. That became my style, where a lot of older people and a lot of younger people, it was kind of like this melting pot of music.
Yep.
And everyone got a chance to hear the songs that they wanted to hear during that night. And because I started doing that, it just took off. And it was one Super Bowl, 2015, was really what did it for me. Super Bowl in Detroit. I opened up for, I'll leave his name out because most black people hate him now, but I don't agree with his politics. But what I will say, actually, I'll tell you what it is.
Kanye?
I was opening up for Kid Rock.
Okay, got it.
Right. He actually helped take my career to the next level.
Okay.
In terms of like private event DJing, he gave me a shot. and that shit took off. So I was doing Super Bowl to the Oscars, and like, yo, I never looked back. So I, it was a very important time in my life. I had to make the choice to either continue building websites or to follow this passion of music. I decided to shut down my business and to fully follow this passion of music, because I wasn't even making and playing the types of gigs that I play now. It was just something that I believed in.
So you were doing music, you start, and then it tops out.
Yep.
Then you go to the bottom, you're doing websites, go up, then you start over again.
Start over again.
Wow.
And like now, it's been great. I've had this 15-year run of DJing that is unmatched by any of my peers, because no one left the scene and came back. Most people continued to do it. Me, I had to start all over again.
Now where did the Burns and Nice thing start?
Nice and Burns, I used to do parties.
I always saw you, just
you. Oh,
you.
yes.
All of a sudden, I was like.
So we do like maybe 5% of my gigs are with Kenny. We do Nice and Burns because it's a fun party. It's like Kenny and I are pretty much, I'm like 3 years older than Kenny, but for some reason he has this extremely young following. I don't know how the hell he did that, but his following is extremely young.
Right.
And my following is probably like 50-50.
Right.
Like most of the older people don't really know who Kenny is, and most of the younger people that come out probably don't know who I am. But when we're together, it's this crazy party of Kenny, and we know how to read each other.
Yep.
We know, like, I can tell Kenny when it's like, yo, it's a little too much yelling and screaming, calm down. And he can tell me, yo, it's a little too much old school R&B, D. Like, let's play some slow songs in the middle of a party. You couldn't do that just as a DJ, get into mint condition without having someone on the mic that makes everyone feel like in the middle of this party at 12:30 a.m. That mint condition is the way to go, and this is going to be sexy.
But see, that's what I love about it.
It's fun.
Love about it because you still into it. So even though you're here in the partying level, you don't go here. You're still here.
You're still there.
And it's so different. You like, damn.
Yes, it's crazy. It's fun, man. So Kenny is my brother. I love rocking with him. And, we got to still cater to our respective audiences. Kenny still does. He does a lot of corporate hosting and everything. Does a lot of clubs. I don't really do that many clubs. I'm private event king. You call me, I'm there. And but it's a great combination when we work together.
Where photography come from?
So photography started back when I was rapping. I was always taking pictures back on the tours, when we were touring with Ice Cube and Ice-T. But I was young taking pictures, and I didn't respect the negatives. So when my career was over in music, I had nothing tangible to show my family because I didn't respect the negatives. So it kind of left me a little depressed, and I was just like, man, if I had a chance to do this all over again, there's always going to be a camera with me. And when I started building websites, one of the clients, a company I was building a site for was called Down Under Gear. It was a men's underwear company. And I didn't like the pictures that they had, so I padded the budget with enough money to go and buy a camera. I went and bought a camera. I shot the campaign for them and built the website using my images. I still own the images, so I can use the images for anything. So that's actually a separate business. Then what really took it over the top was Chris Lighty, who managed 50 Cent at the time. I went to his wedding, and he had looked at some of the photography that I shot at his wedding just as a guest, and he was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You should do this. And my first real campaign was one of 50's Reebok campaigns. So I shot a campaign, and then Tyra called me, and Tyra asked me to, I didn't even know her. She just saw my photography and was like, can you follow me all day? Follow Tyra all day. Then she hired me to shoot for a talk show, and then she hired me as a special guest photographer for America's Next Top Model. And then now I just shoot because I love it, and really because I DJ enough to where I don't have to shoot, but I shoot anyway to document our culture. So 20 years from now, when we look back, you have this stylish photography, and it's not just all paparazzi, red carpet.
Yeah, so for me, so many black events I go to, my archive is crazy because Jeff Johnson and I were talking. Jeff said, you probably have the largest independent black archive of major black news stories.
Wow.
He said, in the last 20 years, because you've been there. And I was like, damn, I ain't never thought about it. And I've actually been spending the last year archiving my stuff. I have 40 terabytes worth 2 drives totally filled. I just bought 2 more.
Wow.
And I'm just taking all those photos. And dude, I got stuff, and I was like, damn, I had that? That's why now, I'll post some stuff on my Instagram. I'm just going through stuff. And that's the beauty of
That's how I am, too. I shot so much, like, one day I was looking at this new artist. He had dropped his album, and everyone was going crazy. But I was like, man, I feel like I know this kid. And I kept looking at him. And I went back through my archives one day, back to 2006. I photographed Kendrick Lamar back in 06 in the middle of Watts.
Wow.
While I was shooting J-Rock's first album cover. So I've done so much photography. I just don't talk about it.
Right.
Because it was like kind of like my little hobby thing.
But here's how I knew you were here. I saw you at the corner of my eye taking pictures, and I went, that damn D-Nice.
Of course, man. Come on, man. We got to document our culture. We have to do it properly, you know?
Absolutely,
like,
baby.
when you look back like on images from the 60s, like the Janis Joplin
That's right.
images.
That's right.
Those images weren't like red carpet paparazzi images. Those were like shot stylishly by Jim Marshall, you know, even back the black photographers back in the 30s and 40s.
What I love about Howard Bingham, always been with Ali, so
always.
You got really personal at
Always.
home, not the stage stuff,
No
not
stage
the
anything.
tuxedo stuff. It was just the regular, which makes documentaries now come to life and things along those lines.
I have those images. I know I definitely have those images. Here's a quick story, right? So I was supposed to DJ John Legend's wedding, but it fell on my daughter's 2nd birthday. So I've always had this friendship with John and Hassan, his day-to-day manager. And one day I was doing a show in Atlanta, ran into Hassan, and Hassan was like, oh, we got a show in Niagara. So here's the thing about me and photography. I like to photograph artists all over the world. Like, I don't want all of my images when my book is released to have, like, every artist, I photographed them in New York.
Right.
So when he told me that John he's going to be in Canada, I was like, dude, I'm going to do my show, and then I'll fly to Canada tomorrow so I can take some pictures of John backstage. I totally forgot my passport at home, but I always have my passport card. I did my show in Atlanta, bought a ticket to Buffalo, jumped in a car, drove from Buffalo to Niagara on the Canadian side. John had a hotel room for me. I went to the show. After he performed, he was like, all right, let's shoot. We're walking down the hall. I took 2 pictures of John. And then I was like, all right, I'm good. And then John looked at me like, you came all this way to take 2 pictures? I was like, bro, I didn't want it to be staged. I wanted a candid moment. And I got the candid moment I need. I don't need any extra.
2 pictures.
2 pictures. The images are beautiful. Of just John being John, looking at admiring all of these images, and you can't see the faces. It just, because of the aperture that I use, it just looks like art. And it's beautiful. And it's like, this is what I needed for my book. And I'm good. So that's what I'll do anything for photography, man.
Hey, man. Well, that's awesome. Brother,
Appreciate
you know I love what you do.
Yes.
Always.
My family for
Always
life.
there to have a party, have a good time. And this is a true story. I was in New York City for something, and I'm like, yo, I'm stuck in a hotel room. My event's the next day, and I'm like, man, what in the hell I'm going to do? And somebody sent me a text, and they said, well, D-Nice is DJing at, I forgot, Sofitel or something like that. I don't know what it was. And it was crazy. I met one of my fans on the street, and I tweeted it out. She sent me a tweet saying she was there with her mama and her kids, and she said, I just met you. I saw your tweet about a party. And I said, well, my man D-Nice over here. I said, I'm going over here. She met me at the party. It was a group of us, Doc. We partied all night that you DJ'd.
I love it.
And that's true story.
I love it. You know,
That's
I
how we
love
do
you,
it.
brother.
Baby,
Always,
keep doing
man.
your thing, baby.
I'll see you at the next party.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I appreciate it. All right, folks, as the marijuana momentum continues, our friends at marijuanastock.org have already reached more than half of their funding goal for the hemp CBD investment. That's right. If you want to take advantage of the great opportunity, you better do it real quick because it won't last much longer. If you don't know, I'm talking about the hemp plant, the good cousin to marijuana with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Also, if you don't know, hemp farming is now legal in the United States.
creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. Now, folks, it's an opportunity for you to invest, and that's where 420 Real Estate comes in. The business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed high-paying tenants. That's right, they're hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. As hemp continues to change the economic landscape, 420 Real Estate is allowing you to chase the American dream. Now, the best part is you can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200. That's right, $200 up to 10 grand. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game, folks, and get in the game now.
But you did. What up, man?
You got it, brother.
I'm in your city, Windy City.
Is it treating you well?
Thank God it ain't freezing.
This is true.
Look, I avoid this place. It's too cold, bro.
It's coming.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
coming, and I'm
working time.
going.
This is the leaves are gold.
It may
Shortly they will be gone.
It may be coming, but I'm going. It's just I can't deal. How long you been here?
I've been here now, since '84. I love the 4 seasons. I just can't. You got to travel between January and February.
Man,
February.
I take Miami all day. I ain't got no problem with heat. I ain't got no problem. I'm fine with one season.
Get you a coat. Make sure you valet.
But But the problem is, if you gotta buy your coat in Chicago.
This is true.
You can't buy a winter coat
in D.C.
somewhere else. Or you gotta
here.
buy a winter coat. If you come from Minneapolis, that's fine. But you gotta buy the coat from here.
Well, yeah, I can see that. I don't know what they sell like other places because I'm not there.
You gotta
so
have.
I've always purchased.
You gotta
one
have
here.
that extra thick lining.
Thick lining and down to the ankle. You know what I mean?
Right. You can't have it right below the knee.
Right.
Your shins be cold.
You gotta put it down to the ankles. I got a couple of those, definitely.
Well, man, let's talk about going from your career and then how you have been able to successfully make that transition. Because it's so many cats just can't let go of what their athletic feats were about to find that next game, that next conquest.
Well, that's vision. You for me, football wasn't the first choice. The first choice was me to be an independent because my parents couldn't give me what I want. When you got 9 kids, I'm number 6 out of the 9, only one sister. Like I say, my father thought he had the next Jackson 5. So, I grew up on the stage, but didn't know, try to sing a little bit and do this and that. But I wanted to find myself, and I knew that wasn't it, but it put me in a position where I could open up because I was a shy person, kind of chubby, and had a dream but was afraid to pursue it. But yet, so I just became a mama's boy and started cutting grass, worked every restaurant before I got to high school. By the time I got to high school, middle school, high school, I was a chef. I was cooking, told a few lies on my age at that time. That's when you could, you could get jobs in the summer.
Right.
And then, and next thing you know, Prop 48 got me on into college. So, and wasn't no, high pick or anything. It's just that I had a guy, William Lester, out of Atlanta, that really wanted to see me move on, and because he knew my story, and I was happy for that. But
and you got a shot at HBCU.
yes, TSU, Tennessee State. As one of the greatest. And let me say something about that. Claude Humphrey went to Tennessee State. When Claude Humphrey came to Atlanta, got drafted in '69, I believe, with 3rd player Pickett, if I'm right. And I watched him and Tommy Noble, so it was a fun of watching him just dictating how he would rule the game. And didn't know he went to Tennessee State. And a couple of my buddies out of Murphy High School, William Lester was sending guys to Tennessee State every year. 3, 2, 1. I went with 3 guys, and when I got there, they said, "We didn't ask for you, Coach." Coach, we didn't ask for this guy.
So you will throw in.
I'm like, what's up? I just left school 2 weeks, a day ago, and we here, and the man said he don't want me. My coach turned around and said, "Good luck, coach." Walked off. Left me there. and it was on since that time. Got into school, got in summer school right away. Started working at Sunbeam Bread with offensive linemen. Decided I want to go to defense because they didn't want me to play tight end. I'm like, this, you're just trying to find yourself.
You
But I knew
deal with early rejection.
But I still saw a opportunity, but I had to prove. I had to show these people that something is here. Right now, I can understand how they felt, right? But yet, I'm looking at the data of these guys, and I can see that, hell, I'm not going to play until I become a senior. So no, I can't do that. I can't sit around here like that, just going through the motion. And to me, that's like business. You can't, as an athlete, you're able to reach these goals, and in business, it's the same way. You just have to go back to square one. Go back to square one, but I don't have to because now I got a platform. I got a name, I'm Super Bowl MVP, I'm a Hall of Famer, all this and that, but yet, the energy business and the tech business was something that I always had an eye on, and yet, it gave me opportunity. And I've been at it since now.
When you talk about, you mentioned the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You had to wait a long time.
Yeah.
And you were not happy about that. Because also, but it wasn't just about you. It was also
all about the people that helped me get there.
But also how you felt this view of how HBCU players were being treated.
True. Even today, Tennessee State, HBCUs taught the NFL about the pro offense. NFL didn't know anything about the pro offense.
Right.
Black colleges was doing pro offense, So, to be brought up on the folks like that taught you the game the way you're supposed to play it was awesome, and taught you how to deal with adversity, taught a lot. To me, black schools teach kids what they're going to go through. Big schools teach kids about the alumni. So when you deal with that adversity, now I thought I was one of you. I got to still go through this. Oh, I'm still black. Yeah, So to me, parents need to stop trying to send their kids to these bigger schools. Now today you can be found. If the top 3 kids in this state decide to go to a black college, the media, you're coming. You're coming to watch it. Today you don't have to. Parents want to see their kids on TV. Yeah, they're going to get the education, but the person who's going to touch that kid is that coach. That coach is taking my place as a parent. How that coach is going to jail my son or my daughter for his or her future is very important. It's not about that school. That school is just education. Now, the players today are looking at trying to make money. I think a player should get paid, but get paid in form of an education. So you giving me a scholarship to come and play football, but after I'm finished, give me the right to come back to be a doctor, or give me the right to hand that off to my son, or hand that off to whoever it may be. But I don't think people in school should touch money. Give them the opportunity to come back with another degree.
So the California proposition that just passed, it allows for players to control their own likeness, get paid for autographs. If they want to sell a jersey or autograph a jersey, it wants to pay them. And
NCAA doing it. It's part of me. It's part of my agreement with you.
Right, and that was part of the deal. That NCAA, y'all making money off.
Well, why I can't make any money?
Right, precisely.
Why I can't make any money? Well, okay, keep the money. Just give me another scholarship, whatever I want to do. Yeah, because this first contract is say I play football.
Right.
I can't play football and be an engineer. Right? So give me the opportunity to come back and be an engineer. That's more than the money. Because education goes a long ways.
Yeah, but they don't want you
that
there.
Dollar,
they don't want you there for engineering. They want you there for that football.
Right. And that's what you're there for, to make money for the school, for other people to come to school. Mm-hmm. Well, I might want to have my son go to that school one day, or I might want to come back. So, that's where we are today is totally different. Obviously, like I said, I came in on a Prop 48. We didn't have much money. We didn't have much, so I was able to go to school and then had to pay it back.
Do you think it's conceivable that the top players would actually
go to a black college, maybe?
Ohio State and Michigan,
Texas A&M, Alabama, Auburn. No, I'm going to go to Tennessee State or Howard or FAMU or Grambling.
Well, they're drinking the Kool-Aid because that's what they see on TV, you know. Because, you know, your family want to see you on TV. They want to, you know, what's important? You growing up, being a good citizen or being a good athlete or being a good student or whatever it may be, you know, what's important to you is what I say. And to the parents, what's important to you. You know, you living, I see, yeah, I have a son, he's 12. I won't let him play contact football. He's going to play contact when he gets in high school. I don't need him to play contact football. His head's still growing. I mean, he's still developing as a kid. Mm-hmm. I don't need to put him in harm's way. I don't need to put mileage on him right now.
So you don't mind him playing football, but
at a time
when he
right. Football is, hey, go hit that guy. Don't let that guy hit you. That's not much talent. That's some guts, okay? Talent when you're talking about swinging a tennis racket. Mm-hmm. Talk about swinging a golf club or more or less basketball, baseball, things like that you want to start early to get the feel. Mm-hmm. But grabbing somebody, tussling somebody, I mean, the kid that came out of Ohio State, that was a running back there, right? I mean, trying to go straight from, his freshman year straight into the a 19-year-old kid cannot come and deal with a grown man. You know, those are things. And I like what the NBA is doing now, at least making the kid go to school 1 year. Because a kid coming to the league straight out of high school, he don't know how to date a grown woman.
Or now they've created a development league to sort of for the guys who aren't at that top level, who aren't LeBron James, but to go to the development league and be developed.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why they created that.
Well, that's important to me because now you're talking about a kid that's able to create some legacy with what he's doing, you know, as he gets started. Otherwise, he's got to go back and get caught up. Once you get $100 million, you going back? Yeah. I don't think so.
No, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Are there some? So you're in the Hall of Fame. Who should be in? Who isn't?
Well, the Hall of Fame, which I was going down that story. So I look at me at Tennessee State, and I'm looking at Claude Humphrey, like I said, and I look at Tutal. Tutal was the first player picked in '75. First. He done batted more balls than any defensive back ever played in the league. He played 20 years. It's a lot of guys, Caucasian guys, that have done the same thing that's in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Why is it that the guys from the black colleges have to be mega superstars players? You got to be a Jerry Rice or something, right? You know what I mean? That's wrong. When I look at Emmett right now at Dallas Cowboys, okay, he got one guy in the Hall of Fame. His holes used to be so big, he was like, hey, you got Nate Newton sitting there. Got Eric Williams there. Mm-hmm. Both of those guys. One went to Central State, one went to Florida A&M. Why in the hell these kids not in? I mean, and here's Allen come in after them and get moved up into the Hall of Fame before those. These guys was already there. Why is Dallas Cowboys is not pushing for these two kids to be in the damn Hall of Fame? These kids deserve that. Claude Humphrey deserved that. Claude was way before me, but I'm the first Hall of Fame out of Tennessee State. Claude went in a couple years ago. Tutal is still waiting. Why are we treating guys from the black colleges totally different than treating guys from other colleges?
Do you think it's fair?
That's wrong.
Do you think it's fair that members of the media pick who gets into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I don't think it's fair. Well, yeah, but the way I look at it, the league needed people to write about the game. So they gave them the game back in the 20s or 30s or 40s.
Right,
they need that, but today the media need us.
But those who also were writing back then didn't look like me and you.
Right, this is true.
We were excluded from those press boxes and being able. So all those exploits, we could not break that down because they froze us out.
This is true. So it was locked out, and we don't have a choice. We have to play. And to me, that you got guys that now in the game that don't know anything about some of these guys. Players know who's the guys, or who are the greater players, or who deserve that opportunity to be nominated in that space.
So unlike
why
the-
is
so
it
unlike
that
the
we don't?
Heisman,
Why is
y'all
it
don't
that
get
we
a
don't?
vote?
Well, right now.
How's that work?
Right now, it's two guys go in on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, before the week of the Super Bowl. James Lofton and quarterback from San Diego, I'm losing his name right now, but these two guys come in and kind of speak for us, to the writers, who the guys in the hall think should be there.
See, to me, this is just sort of like the Heisman.
To me, it should be all
Heisman winners get a vote.
Right.
To me, I think if you go into the Hall of Fame, you should get a vote.
Yeah.
Because again, you're a player. I've always disagreed. I've always disagreed with members of the media
Controlling your space.
controlling it. Here's
Controlling
why.
your space.
Here's why. Because let's say there's a media Hall of Fame.
Right.
Are we gonna let if it's a
Players?
sports media Hall of Fame? Are we gonna
Right,
let the players who we covered pick who gets into the Sports Hall of Fame? No, they probably gonna say a group of your peers. I just think that I just fundamentally believe that for professional sports, when it comes to Hall of Fames, I don't believe people in the media should have the level of sway. Maybe if you say half of the votes, fine. Or if you don't want to get rid of but I just think you're right. I believe that players have a different understanding and perspective on who has had a Hall of Fame career than maybe somebody who's in the media.
Yeah. Well, when I look at it, Dan Fouts, who was the quarterback, that Dan Fouts and James Lofton is two people that go in and speak. Why is it that more players come in and speak? I don't know, but yet it should be, right? But yet you got writers that upset because maybe you didn't give them enough time.
Right.
And now you're going to hold back on me. Right?
And there were people who were pissed off at Terrell Owens. And I personally felt that Terrell should have still gone to the ceremony, should have gotten his gold jacket. I think he should have told his story. I think he should have done that. But absolutely, was Terrell Owens a first ballot Hall of Famer? I think so.
I felt that I was the first ballot, but the point of it is they didn't feel that way.
Right.
But all I can say, you know what, those numbers not going to change. They're going to change.
Right.
They're going to stay there, and I'm going to be number 2, number 3 until someone passes me.
Right.
And sooner or later, you got to come home.
Right.
So you can wait long as you want, long as you want to. What was disappointing to me is that, my high school coach who started me was important to me in my life that I wanted to let him, but yet it was fortunate enough Joe Gillum Sr., who was Joe Gillum Jr., father, who was the guy who taught me the game, taught me about the game, and to have him, here's a guy, have sent so many guys into the National Football League, and Tennessee State had a great rapport of defensive linemen. And to be the first, I was like, hey, some guys out there should have been the first a long time ago.
But for him to be able to see it,
For him to be able to see it and get that minute.
When you're right, when you are inducted to something along those lines, it's not all about you.
It ain't about me. It's those people that touch me.
And not just parents. It's the other people, and you want them to also be able to celebrate that moment because they made it possible. Yep.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, your parents are very important, but yet, that man Gillum, I hated him for a while. Not hated him. I didn't agree with his ways. Right.
In that moment,
rules
you
and
hated him.
regulations. I couldn't deal with those rules. Right. But yet, boy, I learned how to love him. He pushed me to a level that I didn't know that I had.
Right.
And once he pushed me to that level, the lights came on.
Right.
When the lights came on, then that's when the bows started taking place. Thank you, sir.
Last question. Is there one thing that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done?
One thing in sports or just in life? Just in life. I got this fear of height. going up, you know. I have no problem coming down because I can see where down is.
Right.
Going up, I don't know where it stops. You know? So when I go skiing, it's like, oh, I hate getting on that ride or going up. You know, I'm like, yeah. To me, if I'm walking, if I got a destination, I'm fine. I'm not going to walk in a crowd if there's no destination. So to me, I've always wanted to jump. And I have
Like
to jump.
bungee jump or a parachute?
Parachute. I wouldn't do a bungee jump, but I've always wanted to jump. And to me,
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll jump quick. You know.
So you saw that video when Will Smith did that?
Yeah,
that
I
big
saw
old
that.
bucket list
Yeah,
challenge?
yeah. That was no. I want to. I want to glide down.
No, he did both. No, he did the bungee jump.
Okay.
But then he did.
I saw the bungee, but I didn't see
the
the
other.
other.
The parachute one.
Yeah, actually, 3 years ago, I was going to do it here with the air show.
Right.
And they was talking about the weight limit. I was a little thick then, so you know I was probably about 60 pounds over, and I didn't want to take that chance.
yeah, you didn't want to.
I'm trying to get. I'm trying to
parachute hold me?
No, me and who's ever behind me.
Right.
So I'm trying to get down, you know, and I want to get that. I think once I'm able to get that, then another light's gonna come on.
You know what, I'm going to text Will Smith and I'm going to say, Will, I got a new
Set it
candidate.
up.
I'm going to set it up. I'm going to hit Will. I got a new candidate for his
Please do.
hashtag bucket list checkoff or whatever he got to get you to do a jump.
I would love that, you know, but I want to make sure that, you know, the weight is right. We want to get the numbers. The world is about numbers, right? We want to get the numbers right.
I ain't trying to have that be the last image of Richard Dent.
No.
Well, baby, always good to see you.
My
I'm
pleasure.
going to see you on the
too,
golf
brother.
course soon.
Let's go.
You know?
You ready tomorrow? We get it in early and the Bears playing later.
You know I got to fly home.
Oh, gosh.
You know,
I hear you.
I got to see the family.
Do what you got to do, brother.
But you know if I had the clubs here. Now, you know, I don't need extra urgent.
I got a little set about like
You
this
know
here,
how-
or a big set you want.
Remember, I'm left-handed, so, you know, so your
we
stuff
can't-
right-handed.
We can't do nothing for you. You're on the wrong side.
I'm on the right side. That's the creative side.
I
That's the
feel you.
swagger side.
Love you, brother.
Appreciate it, baby.
My pleasure.
Appreciate
You too. Take care. All right.
You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.
This is Diala Riddle, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered. Stay woke.
This is Director X, the director of Superfly on the red carpet, or the black carpet, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hi, I'm Chaley Rose, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
I'm Lex Scott Davis, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jacob Lattimore, and you're now watching Roland Martin right now. Eee.
Hey fam, want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? The blackest show on all of digital, cable, and broadcast. Check out our audio podcast. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Press play.